Hello there. How are you? I'm wonderful. My name is Tiffany, and I'm here to give you a Sew Sunday live stream. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say something seriously funny-ish, whatever. I can't think of anything off. I would never be able to be one of those rappers that can just make words up to a song as they go. I couldn't do that. Freestyle. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't even freestyle the things I'm saying half the time. It just comes out all mumbo jumbo. Anyways, hi everybody, welcome. So, oh, I forgot to turn this on too. If I turn this on, then I can see what we're going for and who's all here. And oh no, I got it. Alrighty. Let's see. We got James here, Kim, Sherry, Cat Lady Who Sews, Tina, Marilyn, Catherine, Shelly, Karen, another Karen, Quilter Nana, Terry, and many, many more. You guys have been chatting for a while, I guess. Alrighty, so today's video, just like the few times I've done this now, I have a bag of scraps. Okay, they may or may not go together. I'm pretty sure these all do. And I just literally, because this is not very much scraps in here, let's pull it out. You know what? I'm pretty sure this is a Lella boutique thing or something, because my friend Becca loves Lella boutique fabric. Yep, that's what it is. Christmas morning, Lella boutique. Oh, look at that. We're starting with Christmas stuff. So I have some Christmas morning scraps here. Who knows where they came from? They've been sitting over in that room for a while. So I decided to go to my shelf and I grabbed this green with polka dot. Why? Because it matches the green that's in here like perfectly. And then I also had this holly leaf berry Christmas star, which guess what? It goes with the two. Nobody ever said you had to use the same fabric line the whole entire time. So apparently this pile is some charm squares. It looks like they came out of an actual charm square pack. There might be some missing, but they're pinked around the edges, so I'm going to assume that. And then some scrap pieces of whatever. And I think what I'm going to do to make this easier on myself is I'm going to cut all this down into 2.5-inch squares, and then cut some 2.5-inch squares from these just to blend it all in, and then use these two as borders of whatever. It's probably going to be a table runner because there's not much here. So let's make something. But before I even start on that, I'll show you. Remember I said I'm just going to start grabbing a bag of scraps, sewing it, because some of them go together. So I'm going to show you the projects I've made. This one I'm not quite done yet with. I'm going to turn this into a book bag. So I made this the other day with a little bag. It was just a little sandwich bag with scraps. So I'm literally going to fold it like this, chop some corners in it after quilting it up, and then put some handles on it and make it a book bag. So there's that one. It's adorable. It's little crocodiles and frogs and fish and butterflies. Like, I don't know. It's whatever. And then just, was this yesterday? No, this was the day before. I grabbed a bag of scraps the day before, and I made this table topper wall hanging. I just made blocks with what was available, and this is what I made. So it's like a little sampler with, that's why I said it could be a wall hanging if it goes this way, because this is the only whole block in there, and it has cute flowers with bees. So it could be either one, a sampler, wall hanging, or whatever. And then I just added yardage to add the border and the sashing for it. But that was just a little bag of scraps. So that's what I've been doing with the bags of scraps. So that's what I'm doing today, is another bag of scraps to show you, you don't actually have to have whatever. You just start with a little bag and make something out of it. So can You turn the iron on. Some of this I won't need to iron, but some of this will need to be ironed. You know what? If these are 2.5, I could cut some squares at 4.5. Can I get 4.5 from this? I have my 5-inch ruler in here. Let's see. Nope, I cannot get a 4.5 out of there, but I can get some 2.5s. Just a couple of them out of this. So I'm literally going to just start chopping all this up and getting what I can out of it. And that's how that's going to go. Oh yeah, and today I decided to clean my machine, like super clean my machine inside there, you know, and oh, it was so disgusting. Oh, it was just horrible, horrible. All right, 2.5-inch squares. But yeah, I at least got it clean. And yes, my rotary cutter is not quite cutting. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's a rotary cutter. I cleaned it and everything, and I still think there's a nick in it. I was filming yesterday, and it was like not cutting the whole entire time. All right, this one I can get a 4.5-inch square out of. And some 2.5ers. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that there. Cut that there. Move that out of the way. Turn it and make a 4.5-inch square. Okay, so I got a 4.5-inch square. I don't know how many I'll actually get. Can't get 2.5 from that, so I'll just throw that over there. I get 2.5 from this. Oh, look at that. Nope. Yep. 2.5 right there. Bam. Is that 1 inch? Nope, not 1 inch. That's garbage. The little what? Oh, the little children's one.
That's cute. Everybody said they liked the second one. I don't think they really got to see the first one.
You can hang them both up just to hang them up, just to have something on the wall for now. And I won't get 2.5 out of the last of that. But I will put it in my scraps bin so that I can get, 2 inches or whatever for another project. So 2.5 on this. Is the iron on?
Yes, it's been on.
All right, make that flat. And let's see what other one. Let me just pull some of these out that need to be made flat. Here, make this flat. Make that flat. This flat. That's already flat. That's flat.
Somebody was cutting little hunks out of them, huh?
Yeah. They are scraps. See, that one I can get some 4.5-inch squares out of. That one's already flat. That one is not flat. That's the video that I'm filming. He's like, what are these over here? That's ugly. I don't like it. I said, that's the video I'm filming.
I didn't say
it may not
ugly.
be the best choice for
I
what
said
I
the
was
colors.
making.
I said the colors.
They would look better if they were alone. But because they're together, it doesn't look right. But that's okay. I'm making something out of it anyway, and the video will go up when I'm done filming it.
The colors.
Am I only going to get 2.5-inch square out of this? My goodness, that's it? I guess that's okay. All right, those are big enough to, oop, that's not big enough for a 1-inch square.
Nothing you do
Nope.
is ugly. I just don't like
I think it's ugly too.
No, the colors.
The colors aren't.
What you're making is not ugly, the colors. You're putting words in my mouth. You want the big pieces separated from all these little ones?
No, I'm just going to cut because I'm cutting 2.5-inch squares. So it really doesn't matter.
What about that one?
That's already a 4.5 inch square. I'm making
Yeah.
2.5 and 4.5 inch squares.
Yeah. What about all that?
That's just my scrap pile.
Okay. As long as you know.
No matter what, I start with a scrap pile and I still have a scrap pile from the scrap pile. You know, because that's just how it works. Nothing will go to waste.
As long as you know what you're doing.
All right. Do what? Oh, did everybody have a lovely Veterans Day? Get to hang out with your favorite soldier? Husband, wife, uncle, sister, cousin, brother? I don't know. Neighbor. Yeah, I probably should have cut all this before going live, but guess what? You guys like to watch when I cut fabric anyway, so I might as well just do it all on the live stream. Oh, you know what else I could mix in? I could mix 2.5 by 4.5 as well. Why? Because I can. Because I'm just going to hook them all together. That's what I'm going to do, a 2.5 by 4.5. Let's put that in there. Because I can. Because we're making something. Don't know exactly what I'm making. Oh, I can get a 4.5 out of this one. Let's grab that 4.5 out of the corner first. All right, got a 4.5 for that pile, and then I'm going to have a 2.5 by 4.5 also. Woohoo! And then that can go in that scrap pile. So much fun just doing whatever. Oh, well, you know, I may as well make one edge straight before I do that. Guess I'm not thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the half right there. Okay. My trash can is almost all the way full again. Oh. I guess I could throw in 1.5s also. You know that? Because 1.5 and 1.5 in the quilting world makes 2.5. I just thought about that. So yeah, I could throw in some 1.5s in here and then put those together and have fun with those too. Oh, that's edges straight already. Or look straight at least. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut some 1.5s from these smaller pieces. That way those can get put together and create 2.5s. So right now, this one is a 1.5 already, right there in front of my face. And I guess while I'm at it, I can cut my little 1-inch pieces from my other scrap bin. That's definitely not 1.5. But that can go in my 1-inch scrap bin. This can go in my 1-inch scrap bin. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chop all this while we're right here. I mean, I got the fabric out, so might as well chop it up. And technically, we can use 1-inch pieces too, because you know why? 4 1-inch pieces together makes a 1.5-inch square, and then 4 1.5-inch squares makes a 2.5-inch. So, you know, I literally can just take all the sizes and put them together and make myself a fun little project.
What's your t-shirt say?
My t-shirt says, I enjoy romantic walks through the quilt shop. Although I haven't done that in a long time, romantic walks in the quilt shop, but
We don't really have any.
we only have one quilt shop. That's definitely not 1-inch. Is this 1-inch? Oh yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 1-inch, the 2, the 1.5 inch and the 2.5 inch and the 2.5 by 4.5. That's what we're doing here. Yep. That's what we're doing. I'm totally just going to have some fun with this and just cut all this up now instead of waiting. All right, that's going in that pile. This is going in the 1-inch pile. 1-inch pile. No waste. It's not 1 inch. 1 inch. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 1-inch squares out of that piece. Look at that. No waste. Let's see. This will be 1.5. Yep. Just 1 and 1 1-inch square. So this is how I actually cut all of my scraps for when I do my storage bins. Although some of the sizes are over in the other room, but I literally start with 1 inch, then I do 1.5, then I do 2 and 2.5, and 3 and 3.5, 4 and 4.5, and so on and so forth. Is that 1.5 left? Oh, look at that exact. All right, nothing is going to waste here. All right, this is definitely just a 2.5 inch square's worth. That's not even 1 inch right there. Oh, I want that edge right here with this nice pretty flower. Oh, that's exactly 1.5 left. Look at that. And that's 1. 1 inch, 2, 1.5, garbage. Shouldn't take me too long to chop all this up, because I'm going to chop bigger sizes from the bigger cuts. You know, these are all just the little ones. 1.5 and a 1. Look at that. Woohoo! I get a 1.5 right there. Oh, look. With a tiny corner cut out, but guess what? It's going to work. I'm just going to make it work. Is that 1 inch left? No, that's not. I don't need to put any of this away. I just need to chop it up. Which is what I always do anyway. I'm going to chop it no matter what.
Any quick hints when sewing 1-inch pieces together?
Any hints when sewing 1-inch pieces together? I suggest with 1-inch pieces to press the seams open for bulk purposes because they're so little. I'm only going to get a little 1-inch square from this, but that's okay. At least it's not going in the garbage. Yeah, I don't really have that many secrets for 1-inch squares, just to make sure that they're 1 inch, you know. All right, that's my 1.5 inch pile, and this is all garbage. Look at that. Now I don't have anything to go back into the fabric room, which is overblown. It's never clean in there anymore. It's always an explosion. All right, we're gonna do a 2.5, 4.5 from this one. Make this side nice and straight. Oh man, too bad that's not 1 inch left. This is 1.5. And there's a tiny bit of selvage in here, but guess what? I don't care. Is that 1 inch? Nope, it's not. All right, keep going. Keep it going. Keep it going. You can turn the iron off for now. It's just going to be a hot diggity dog in here. All right. And then 1.5. Anyways, you guys can ask questions to keep me from talking to myself, which is what I'm pretty much doing at this moment.
Well, we did mention Fabrics Unlimited a little. What's that lady's name there? That always helps me with thread?
That's Linda.
Linda. Yeah, no, Linda is the best.
Yep. Oh,
There's another lady
man.
here goes to Fabrics Unlimited. We were talking about that.
Yep. I love going to Fabrics Unlimited. Although I rarely ever purchase fabric while I'm there.
No, we buy all of our thread there.
I buy all my thread there. That's the main reason I go there.
Linda is super helpful. Tell
All
me,
right.
give her a list and she calls me up when she gets the colors in.
Yeah, Scott usually gives Linda the list, and then as soon as the colors come in, she'll call us. Okay, the thread's here. I buy a lot of thread, if you guys didn't know, for my long arm. Because long arm quilting requires a lot of thread. And if you do it as a business, it requires a lot more than you think. Like, you need to have it in every single color. Please tell me this one has a 4.5. Oh, goody. This one has a 4.5. Woohoo. I added some, because I was filming a video and I needed it. I added some little anti-slip things on this ruler. They're called True Grips, these things. And I'm going to give you guys a review real quick while we're here because there's nothing else better to do than give a review. If you need some kind of anti-slip for your ruler, they make these things, True Grips. They're perfect for any ruler. Problem being, they are better for these kind of rulers as opposed to these kind of rulers. You want to know why? These creative grid rulers already have like this it's not an anti-slip because trust me, they slip. It has like this film stuff around it and then it has some circles already on it. Well, adding these, you can't put them on the circles because then it lifts it even more and then you have a tilting ruler. It doesn't work that way. So I had to like go where I'm not touching this stuff, and then even on the one circle where I got it, I couldn't get it to where it's not touching this right here. So you need to make sure you're putting these True Grip things on flat rulers that don't have anything else on them, no funky stuff on it. But other than that, because on half square triangles, if it's right here, it tips no matter if it's on the sides or not, you know what I mean? It kind of moves around. So just saying, they don't work for everything. So my honest review here is don't use these on rulers that have the fancy, whatever, filmy, grippy stuff that they think is grippy, but it's really not on it. Use it on flat rulers. On flat rulers, they're great. Perfect. But, you know, hot glue gun works too. Same difference. So there's an honest review of that stuff right there. I had to put it on this ruler for my project, and let's just say I was struggling the whole time because it was tilting on the half square triangles. It was frustrating me. And I don't like to be frustrated. Ooh, I can do 1.5 by 4.5 too. Ooh, I can have like at least 2 1.5 by 4.5s.
How do you decide in a moment's notice what you're going to make with scraps?
How do I decide on a moment's notice what I'm going to make with scraps? Well, I'll just start making something, honestly. I don't know, like right now, I'm just honestly making some. I had 2.5-inch squares in here already, you know, from a mini charm thing. So I decided to add with the bigger scraps from all this 2.5-inch squares, but then I thought, you know, 2.5 and 2.5 together makes 4.5. So why not add 4.5? You get where I'm going here? It makes sense to blend all the sizes together. All right, I'm going to cut this into a 1-inch strip, but I am not going to use that much of it because there's already too much. 1-inch squares already, and we're not trying to have a 1-inch square project. Just need like, I don't know, the rest can go in my other bin. Just a couple. One more. There we go. That can actually go in my scrap bin. I don't need that one. And then this, 4.5. Turn it. Grab a ruler. Cut 4.5. And cut 4.5. We're never going to have an equal amount left anyway, so. And then I'm going to do a 2.5 by 4.5. And then a 2.5 and a 1.5. How about that? And a 1. Because see, I keep making 1-inch squares no matter what I do. There's always going to be a 1. 1, 1.5, 2.5. Grab another big chunk. All right, cut that selvage off. How big is this? Ooh, that's 9 inches. So I get 2 4.5s off of this to start. And then I can get 2.5. And then that looks like about 1.5 right there, with some 1s at the ends. Cut this, turn it into 2 4.5-inch squares. Okay, so that's 4.5-inch pile. Then we'll do the 2.5-inch pile. 1, 2, 3. Turn it, cut a 1.5 and a 1. One, and then this will give me 1.5 all the way to there. So, oh, I did a 1.5, 4.5 too, right? So let's do that so that those two can go together and create a 2.5 by 4.5. And that's not quite 1. And let's see, is this 1? Ooh, it is. You know, when I'm cutting in my fabric room, this is what I do. Ooh, look, is that enough? Oh, I can make that cut. Oh, this is this and this and that plus that. I literally talk to myself. How many of you talk to yourselves while you're in your sewing or quilting or fabric or whatever areas of your space that you're in? I talk to myself a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself so loud, like when I'm in the middle of the night when I'm cutting fabric. I think I'm talking loud enough to wake Scott, but I'm really not. But I ask myself questions. I give myself answers. I'm quite the smarty. All right, so I'm going to stack these. Cut that selvage off. All right, 4.5. There's 2. We're going to do 2 2.5s.
Tell them what happened yesterday.
What happened here yesterday?
It rained.
Oh, yeah, it rained here yesterday.
Like a lot.
A lot, like all day almost. It was, let's just say, crazy cuckoo.
Well, after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, after.
Before 11.
Yeah, it like sprinkled off and on, like little tiny 2 or 3 sprinkles and then nothing, and then 2 or 3 sprinkles and then nothing for a while. And then 11 a.m. hits and bam. It literally rains. But after 4 p.m., it rained heavy, heavy, heavy rain. The rain was so heavy that the clouds were brought down, and like from our backyard and our front yard, I could see mountains. We have a mountain view mostly that way in the front of our house, and then to the side behind our house, and then you can see the lake. Well, none of the mountains were visible. It was just pure white. And then I went outside at like 11 o'clock last night, and it was so bright outside, but there was no moon or anything. It was the clouds. They were white on top of the gray clouds, which the city lights up with the lights being on in people's houses. It literally was like spooky, scary, cool. But yeah, it poured like off and on for at least 3 hours straight. Like it was heavy downpour too for a while, but we needed it. We don't get rain much here. I'm serious, you darn. I want to just change this blade again, but I don't want to mess with the thingamabobber. It's going to drive me nuts. I want to get this all cut up so I can get to sewing. So if I just have to press harder on my blade, I guess. No, that didn't work. 1 inch. But yeah, it poured yesterday. I was kind of glad though. We needed the rain. It doesn't help, arthritis wise for me, but
Did we get to see any of the northern lights?
We did not get to see the whole northern light thing because Scott thought it was the following night. But we always forget. When it says it's a certain night, it means it's the morning of.
It just means that it show up here.
Yeah, it showed up here. Lots of people took pictures locally. That's the only reason why we knew that it happened that night instead of the night before or the night after, because we would have thought it was the next night.
Yeah,
but
the
yeah.
news at 4:30 in the morning said it was going to be that night, but apparently it was the night before.
Yeah, the news when Scott got to the gym said, that night, but it technically was the night before that just happened. But yeah, there was northern lights visible here. It was more red though than any other color. I just didn't get to see it, but I saw everybody's posts, saw my friends and stuff that live locally. All right, this one's a big hunk, so we're gonna get some good 4.5-inch squares out of this one. How wide is this? Is it 9 inches? Oh, it's 9, so I'm gonna cut 4.5s this way. And then we'll cut 2.5s and stuff as well, but we're gonna do 3 cuts, and then the rest we'll cut into 2.5. Oh, yeah. If you guys didn't know, now you know. I'm going to tell you. Connecting Threads. If you click on my link, that'll be in the chat. Connecting Threads is having a $3 a yard, $5 a yard, and $7 a yard sale.
Yeah, it says it right on there.
Yep, $3, $5, and $7 a yard sales, plus up to 50% off of specific items, plus free shipping over whatever. I totally forgot all about that. But yeah, no, they're having. I was on there scrolling. Although I should not be buying fabric, I was on there. They have tons and tons of blenders and stuff, and I know from personal. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. I know from personal experience that Connecting Threads fabric is nice quality fabric because I've had it before, plenty of times. They also sell 108s and stuff on there, I think, too. I don't know exactly what's all, because I didn't go through all the pages of the sale fabric, but if that's only 9, how many inches is it this way? 7.5. That's 3,
well, you can't beat $3 a yard.
2.5. Yeah, you can't beat $3 a yard. That's cheaper than Walmart.
That's cheap now.
Yeah, that's cheaper than Walmart. So $3 a yard. You guys hit that link, use that link, and that is in the chat. And that way it helps me out just ever so slightly, you know. Every penny counts. But yeah, you guys go on a spending spree. I mean, it's Christmas time after all, you know. It's holiday
Soon
season.
Black Friday.
Yeah, it's soon Black Friday. Speaking of Black Friday, next Sunday, I'm pretty sure we're doing this next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going to have a Black Sunday sale. We'll have a de-stash of my quilts. Hopefully it'll happen on Sunday. Yeah. No, this coming Sunday. The next, you know, the one that's next. Yeah, Black Friday would be the one after that, but that didn't land at 1.5, so we're gonna turn that into 1. But yeah, we're gonna have a de-stash, so just letting you know. And if it doesn't happen next week, it'll happen the following week. But it was hoping to have it this coming week. Sure, 1.5, 1, and garbage. Not much left to cut. All right, how many inches do I got this? Got 7 inches. That's gonna yield me. No, not what I want, so we're gonna do. I can get 2.5, and yeah, let's do that. Cut the salvage off and cut some 2.5-inch strips, and then we'll just cut 4.5 because we definitely need more 2.5-inch squares. Oops, right there, and 1 more, and the rest we'll cut.
What are we doing for Thanksgiving?
What are we doing for Thanksgiving? We are going to go to church because church is having its annual brunch after service, because we always do a Thanksgiving service at our church. And then we have a brunch following that. And
It's a
then,
big breakfasty buffet.
yeah, it's like a big breakfast buffet the church does. We do that, and then we come home and feel fat and lazy for the rest of the day. We actually, sometimes Scott and I will do like a pot pie or something. We'll get one of those Marie Callender's pot pies, the good ones, you know, and we'll have those. And then sometimes we'll go to friends' houses. That's what we did last year. We went to my friend Diane's house, right? That was last year, wasn't it? I don't remember. Maybe that was Christmas. And then, yeah, because we went with your mom and John.
No, Christmas. Christmas we do enchiladas.
No, I'm talking about Thanksgiving. You're asking about Thanksgiving.
You just said maybe it was Christmas.
Either way, we try to do something, but we don't. I don't make like whatsoever. No way, no how am I getting involved in another day of the year cooking. Since I don't cook any other day of the year, unless you count microwave meals.
Oh, thank Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn. That's very kind of you. Oh, come on, you stupid blade. I just want to change you, but I can't because it'll take forever. Why did this move? It's not supposed to move. And 1 inch. Okay, I really am going to have a lot to sew here, but that's okay because we're going to have fun with it. All right, now this one I was going to turn into 4.5. There. And I guess I'll get a 1-inch strip out of this. But I don't want the whole thing because I feel like I have too many 1-inch squares already. Fine, That's plenty for me. All right.
Will you sew on Thanksgiving?
Will I sew on Thanksgiving? Probably.
You sew every day of the week.
I sew. Well, I don't sew every day of the week. I've had a lot of breaks lately of the whole sewing
Well, you were
because
sick this
I've
week.
been sick. This week was a sick week.
Well, you still made both those on the wall.
Oh yeah, but I still made those projects.
So you sewed.
In the morning when I wasn't feeling as horrible. And then as soon as I started moving around and sewing, then it just got worse. And technically this one took me 2 days. Well, because the first day I made half the blocks and the next day I made the other half and put it together. Yeah, I just woke up one morning a couple days ago and I was nauseous and dizzy and that all around feeling disgusting and a horrible stomach ache. And then all of a sudden, the next day, same thing all day long. And then the next day, same thing all day long. 3 days in a row. I had no idea what was wrong with me. I didn't go to the doctors or anything. There's no sense in that. And then the following day, the 4th day, I was feeling better. I still had a little bit of nausea and some tummy grumblings. But I was actually just weak and tired from being sick the 3 previous days. So, but this week, I got a little bit done, despite being sick. Oh, look at that. That's 4.5 as well. I need some more of these 1.5 by 4.5, just because I need more than at least one block that's made that way. So we will make, oh, that has a cut in it. I'm about ready to throw this rotary cutter. Can you just, never mind.
What do you need?
I was going to say pass me the Singer one.
You got one in the other room? Don't you have a Martelli in the other room?
Yeah, just get me my Martelli from the fabric room so that this one stops driving me nuts.
I thought you fixed it just the other day. You said it was working.
Yeah, but it still keeps catching fabric. It's driving me nuts. I don't want to change the blade while on live stream because I'll get all oily and stuff, you know. Thank you.
Front of the camera. Oops, sorry.
Much better. All right, just a few more pieces left to cut. Let's see. I'll get 1.5 out of that side. I'm gonna cut 4.5. 1. I'll cut those ones down in a second. We'll get 1.5 out of this. Alright, garbage. 1.5, 4.5, right there. Let's do another one. And then this will get a 1.5 inch square. Let's cut this first though. That pile, and let's cut 1.5 off of here.
Have you ever purposely cut a piece cockeyed?
Have I ever purposely cut cockeyed? Well, yeah, because I've made funky quilts before. But the other times everything's come out cockeyed is because I accidentally, or I'm just cutting too fast, or not paying attention, or, you know, whatever. All right, just a few more pieces. What's this? 2 more left, and then I'll cut some from this yardage so that it can get blended in all of this. Go ahead and cut a 1.5 inch square out of this real quick. And that's the side I cut. Let's do 4.5. And a 1.5. Okay. Oops, that's not that pile. That's that pile. Garbage pile. That pile, that pile. And then a 2.5 off of here. So if you guys want to make a project just like this, just take a bunch of scraps, cut 1.5, 1.5, 2.5, 2.5 by 4.5, 4.5, and 1.5 by 4.5. Let's just do 2.5 squares on this one. And probably have the equal amount of, I can't even think. I don't know, quite a bit of, probably the equivalent of 2, maybe 3 of those little charm pack things, and then, I don't know, I don't think this is 40 something pieces, but it's almost on that, because then that would be the equivalent of a charm pack, an actual charm pack, not the mini charm pack. This is 9. Oops, where am I at? Oh, it is. Good. I can get 4.5 this way off of this one. But, yeah, so you can even just take charm packs and cut them up, say like 2 charm packs, and just cut them up into 2.5 and 4.5 and so on inch pieces. You'll get a lot of 1-inch squares out of that, but not very many people like that, so you can skip the 1 inch, because I'm a rare breed that likes the 1-inch pieces, let alone 1.5 inch. There's a lot of people that don't even use 1.5 inch.
Not Tiffany, she uses them all.
I use it all. I actually even use 3/4 inch strings. I'll get, yeah, not 1.5 from that, so 1.5 from that, and that's definitely not 1 inch, so that's garbage. I have one more piece to cut after this, and then we'll get started on the yardage, which I'm only going to probably cut 1 2.5 inch strip from each of them for now. And then I don't really want to add that many. Maybe I'll cut a 4.5 inch strip and then cut it down and blend it all in. Well, that's not an equal amount there. That was. That is not. Just going to throw that over there for now, because I really do have a lot of 1 inch squares going on here. And whatever's left over just goes in my bins anyway, so even if I do overcut for whatever I'm making here. Ooh, is there 4.5 left? Oh, look at that. There is 4 1/2 right there. Perfect. 4.5 by 1.5. Look at that. Okay, one more piece to cut. And this is probably going to be the exact same as the last 9 inches or so. Let's turn it this way and I can read the numbers. Yep, it's 9. I cut 2. These. Yeah, that's about equal as a charm pack now. 2.5 inch strips. One and a half inch. Am I gonna get 3 1.5s off the last of this? Look at that. Woohoo! Got lucky. Move those, move those. Cut these. This fabric is pretty, gotta admit. I've never understood the hype of certain fabric lines until I end up with a fabric line. And as you all know, I don't pay attention to the names of fabric lines. No, let's just do. All right. These down. Do I have an equal amount of these? Oh, that's okay, because I'll mix them with these. Yeah, that's what I'll do. One and a half. One and a half. Do, do, do. That file. All right. Move, 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 move out of my way. Open up. I'm going to cut a 4.5 inch strip from each of these. I am also going to stand for this. Are you kidding me? I can't cut backwards today, I guess. All right. 1 4.5. We'll blend that into the sizes. Go ahead and put this on a line, make it easy on myself. Correct direction. What?
Bill got the Black Friday Walmart TV, the 75 inch. He said it's too big. He said your head is life size.
Black Friday 75 inch. We thought about it too. We're like thinking, because the Black Friday 75 inch thing is a good deal, right? And we're thinking to ourselves, I mean, you guys have seen my living room because I've taken you out there plenty of times for filming
No
while on the
room.
long arm. We have no room out there. I mean, there's a whole long arm that takes of a footprint of 4 foot by 12 feet, but technically it's taken up like 6 feet by 12 and a half feet, maybe 13 feet or so. And then there's 2 couches, a television on a stand, a little stand for all the television-y stuff, and the television is too big for the stand already. So it's like hanging off of there. Like, yeah, there is no outway, and a little 2 bean bags because they're thumpers and we can't move them. And then the rocking chair, which is thumpers, and we can't do anything with it. And then one of those soft, what is it called? Coffee tables that, you can put crap in, which is where we kept the electronics.
Which is also thumpers too.
Which is also thumpers too, yes. All of the things out there are thumpers. That is a thumper's living room. We thought about it, but it would have to get mounted to the wall, and then the living room would never get to be moved around, no matter what way we chose,
Plus, we don't watch TV out there.
But we don't watch TV out there enough. And even if we chose to, the couches aren't very comfortable to sit and watch TV on. I'd rather sit in my bed and recline it because I have a reclinable bed, All right, there's my 2.5, 4.5. But yeah, so we thought about it. And I can't put a 75-inch on the wall in my bedroom. That's just too big. That is just like way too big. All right, let's do some 1.5s by 4.5. 2. Oops, that one went crooked. Why? Because Tiffy's not holding the ruler properly. All right, I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is enough. Perfect. And now some 2.5-inch squares. 1.5. Let's do a 2.5 first. Probably get more if I open this up, but the iron is not on, so we're just gonna cut anyway.
Is it fabric store or quilt shop on your shirt?
Quilt shop.
Oh, I got it wrong. I put fabric store. Do you want me to turn the iron on? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, you don't have to turn it on right now. No, it's fine.
What's my job to iron? What do you need me to iron?
Nothing at the very second.
Oh.
Four 2.5-inch squares. Get some 1.5 inches. 1, 2, 3. Not really worried about 1-inchers anymore. Oops, and I put 1.5s in the 1-inch pile. All right, let's do the same with this one. And apparently I'm making a mess on the floor as well.
Okay, I will clean it.
What am I cutting? 1.5, duh. And I'm even using the fold, because I can. You just have to iron it good when you go to make it, whatever it is we're making here with all these wonderful cuts. All right, there's 1.5, 1.5 garbage, and last to cut is 2.5. I don't know how that's going to work right there on that. Right there. Cut that fold off. All right. Everything's chopped up. That took me, what, 45 minutes, 50 minutes? Because I don't know when I started talking. So 50 minutes to cut up all those scraps. All right.
And what are you going to do with them?
Now, to spend the next hour sewing it up. So I don't need to do anything to the 4.5 inches just yet. I need to sew the 2.5 inch into 4 patches, the 1.5s into 4 patches, the 1s into 4 patches. The 2.5, 4.5s can stay separated or sewn together, and all these 1.5 by 4.5s are going to get sewn, which I'm going to sew those first. So I'm literally going to pair them up with the colors, the accent colors that I just cut, and sew these on through. And I'm going to chain piece the whole lot of everything. Just going to start pushing it through with a 1/4 inch seam. Oh, let's put the light ones with the dark ones and make sure. So those can go together. Those are the same. That one can go with that one. I just want Scott to hold up. This is Christmas morning. This is the fabric piece that I chose from my shelf. Do you see where I'm saying that any fabric line can go together? Because apparently they match. And it's not even the same thing.
It's just darker colored than the other.
Yeah, it's just slightly darker and there's a swirl in one. Now you know why I match certain fabrics. Because they match completely. And the green that I chose matches the green perfectly. Like it's like the same green. This one. It's great though. It's working out perfect. Those together, then these two together.
I want to refocus the camera. It's out of focus.
Tap the screen.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. There we go.
So apparently there'll be one left. As soon as I start moving, I'm going to tell you guys this in advance. I was filming yesterday. I'm not done filming. Like I said earlier in the video will be out when I finish filming it and edit it and stuff. But I was in the midst of filming, and every time I moved, the camera went out of focus. It was driving me mad, and now it's doing it on live stream, going out of focus. Don't know why. It's time for new cameras, but I can't afford it.
It's been time for over a year now.
It's been time for over a year, yes.
Everything keeps coming up. Like
everything keeps coming up. Everything and the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Our car insurance went up for no apparent reason. I mean, we don't drive any different, never been in accidents, and all of a sudden it's outrageously sky high, you know? All right, I'm going to sew these 1 inchers into 2 patches, into 4 patches. You get where I'm going here. So I'm going to sew 2 together, and just keep sewing 2 together until they're all sewn up. There's going to be a lot right here, these little guys. I'm just going to sew them. Doesn't matter, just 2, every 2. They're kind of small, so they're, got to be separated. I'm just going to put 2 together. So that makes 1 block right there, because there's 4. So every time I sew 2 together, and then 2 together, that's 1. And I'm going to mix them up as best as I can. Just trying to lay them all out here. Well, I can't put 2 reds together. You're a dummy, Tiffany, if you try to do that. It's the same fabric. Don't do that. They're not that hard, little 1 inchers. But then I like a challenge, so. I just have to make sure it's just one, because I have sewn 1-inch squares together where I've sewn 2 instead of 1. Happens. Not my fault. It's just because I'm not paying attention. Enough attention, I should say. But they're tiny, so you have to really, like, lay it just right. I lost count on where I was, too. Apparently, I can't count while sewing and talking on live stream.
Do you use a 1/4-inch seam on 1-inch squares?
I do use a 1/4-inch seam on 1-inch squares. I use a 1/4-inch seam on all of my quilting related needs. Laid that on there crooked. All right. I guess there wasn't as many 1-inch squares as I thought. All right, that's a white with a dark. Lay that on there. White with a dark. Lay that on there. Light with a dark. Light with a dark. Oh well, 2 reds can go together. They're 2 different reds, so I guess it's okay. And 1 more. And then I still have to press and turn these into 4 patches, but that's okay. Right now I'm just going to sew everything through. All right, now for the 1.5-inch squares, same thing. I'm just going to lights with darks, or 2 different colors as best as possible. I mean, if you want to move the camera. Oh, no, there's no need. All right, so I'm just going to pair them up first and then sew them through. I'm just going to start putting pieces together. Because I'm making it scrappy. So all right, lay a bunch more in front of me and then match them all up. Throw those in first because those have what's the word for it? A folded piece. Oh, that was this vibrating? Oh,
That was your phone.
it really makes a loud sound when it is hooked to the machine. Oh, that is red.
Yes, it does.
That's more than one piece. Tack some more up. There. There. I have a feeling I'm not going to have as many darks as I'm going to have with the lights. We will see though. Right, getting down there. All right, and I literally need to swap out two. I'll put this one on here and that one on there. Look at that. Moving on to the 2.5 inches. Now I had the pile that was the charm squares, which have more colors in them from the line. And then I have the ones I cut myself. So what I'm going to do is mix these ones with these ones. So I'm literally going to take one from this pile and this pile and put them together and sew these through. That way I have a full blend of everything. Should probably mix them up though a little bit so I'm not sewing the same pieces over and over together. Because that would make for a boring quilt if it's always the same every single time. We want to add some character to this quilt. Whatever it is we're making, I should say. It's probably, like I said. Oh yeah, I could start passing them to you. I'm going to do everything below here. The little 1-inch ones have to be open seamed. The 1.5 ones don't. But when you get to these little guys, these are different. It's over here. Those are open seam, and then those go together.
These ones are?
No, those are regular, pressed to one side. Well, I can't put two of the same together. That would be weird. Oh, out of bobbin. I knew eventually that would happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. I did have a full, not full bobbin to start with. It's tangled. Nope. Because they're going to get joined all messy anyway. I'm wondering if I can't use the little iron, the little tiny one, on this side, because that one's plugged in on that side at the same time to get more done.
Oh no, the little tiny iron would be better. Does your other Juki do other straight stitch?
Is my what?
Other Juki do other stitches other than the straight stitch?
No. Well, no.
Yes.
The TL 2010 Qs, I have 2 of them. They're straight stitch only because it's the same machine. My HZL F600, the other Juki, does all sorts of stitches. It has zigzags and monogrammings and all sorts of stuff. It even has like cutesy little whatever stuff, like, you know, funny random things.
It's a yes. It does. It does. It does. It does.
See, now some of these pieces have doves on them and stuff from the rest of the fabric line. Too bad I didn't have more of that. But that's okay. I'm going to make do with what I have.
You could do a 4-patch and a 4-patch quilt.
Pretty much. The goal here is to make just a bunch of 4.5-inch squares out of the 2.5 inches, out of the 2.5 by 4.5, and then blend it all together. Oh my goodness, just one. Thank you. I definitely have more of my cut over the ones that were from the mini charm pack.
Hey, Missy.
Hmm?
Tip is cut off of that one. Does that matter?
That doesn't matter. It'll be in the seam allowance.
Okay. Do the quilts on the wall?
Do the what?
Do the quilts on the wall? Tiny block?
These ones are made from 2.5-inch squares and 1.5-inch squares. That's what these are made from. And then miscellaneous, like this is a 3.5. This is a 4.5 with stuff built around it to create, making 6.5-inch blocks. That's what that one is. And 1 square left over. All right, let's just do 2 at a time because there's no way this is gonna get done if I gotta sew these little 1-inchers real quick. Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed, everybody.
Want me to unplug this one?
Nope. This is a little iron, so I don't think it's bringing as much as that one. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
So far, there's no flickering lights. Since I got to press all these seams open on these guys.
Yeah, that'll take me all day.
Yeah.
I can do it, but I'm slow. Yeah, I know.
Yep. I'm pretty quick with that. And I could have let them together in sets of 2, but I think it would be easier if I just don't. Stop wiggling. Stop wiggling. It's not as many as it seems, though. So.
Do you want me to cut them for you?
Nope, I got it.
Hey, I'm done. You start ironing.
All right, here we go. Well, this whole stack is for you.
Well, we're working together.
We're working together. And then this whole stack, too.
Okay.
That's a single. And I almost burnt myself.
Over there, so you can show me these whole stacks all you want. I don't know. You're going to have to re-show them to me.
All right. Open seam. Open seam. Place over here. These are the only seams I'm going to open, too, of all this stuff. There's no sense in opening any other seams, just these little 1-inchers. But you can make yours however you want. If you want to press it to one side, that's perfectly fine. I do have an even smaller iron. Technically, that's better for these, but it takes a lot longer to warm up, and I always burn myself on it because the whole stick of it is heat. It's like a soldering iron, just a little, but for quilting. Use this because my fingers just can't open these all up today. I'm the one that decides to do this kind of stuff. I'm crazy, but, you know, I don't know why I enjoy tiny stuff or mixing tiny with big, you know, like, it just makes me happy. As long as I don't burn myself, that's all I care about right now. And there's no other way to do these things, I'm telling you, these little pieces. So if you've never pieced little pieces and you find a way yourself to make it easier, you're going to have to share that with me, because so far, after all these years of making tiny projects, I have never found an easier way to open these seams and get them flat and sew them with perfection. Other than making strips and sewing the strips together, opening those seams and then subcutting them, that's a lot easier. That's the only thing I think of, but I did not sew these into strips. But that is an easier way.
Whatever's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get her done.
I'm almost done.
Me and Larry, the cable guy.
Well, I'm half an hour into the sewing part. So that's not horrible. Especially with all these little guys.
Do you ever have smaller than a 1/4 inch seam on tiny blocks?
Do I ever have smaller than a 1/4 inch seam on tiny blocks? I have, with messing around with little stuff. I've done 1/8 of an inch seams, but that's only because they're permanent wall hangings. But most times I still do a 1/4 inch seam, because I want my finished square to be a 1/2 an inch, you know? If I did an 1/8 of an inch seam on these, then I would have bigger than, and the square would be bigger than it's supposed to be. We're going for 1.5 inch. And I definitely, trying to keep it at that. So 1/4 inch seam makes it what it's supposed to be. But it depends on the project, I guess. But this one, on the other hand, is just 1/4 only for all of it. That way I have 1 inch squares.
It's hard to pick this stuff up right away. Really hot.
Yeah, that iron works great. It's a good iron. Hopefully it lasts as long as it is old already. Because knowing my world, irons don't last very long in my world.
Could you use an awl to hold those tiny pieces while you iron them? That way you don't burn your hands.
Do I use a what?
Could you use an awl? Awl?
I don't know what that is.
AWL? I don't know either.
So I don't know what it is to use. I do have little finger things to keep from burning my fingers, but that doesn't work. All right. I'm going to sew these now into 4 patches. So I'm literally just going to put them together, line them up, and if they won't nest, so it's more like hopefully it lands where it's supposed to land. So now I'm just going to create lots of 4 patches. I mean, sometimes there's 2 lighter ones. There's 2 lighter ones.
Oh, they're saying the stiletto is probably the same thing.
Oh, a stiletto's probably the same thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Could you use it?
You could use it to hold your pieces. I don't. I allow myself to burn my fingers, because I have more control over my actual fingers than other stuff does. So that's the only reason why I don't use all the specialty tools and stuff that a lot of people use. I just sew.
How long is the throat space on the Juki HZL?
The HZLF 600, the throat space, I don't know. You'd have to go to the specs on the machine on the website, because I don't actually know. I know it's bigger than my little brother machine, which is only like 4.5, 5 inches, because that thing barely has any space, like at all. It's about this much space in the throat space of the other one, and this one's 9 inches from the needle to the hearth right here. Oh my goodness, come on, stay. still have to do this with the 1-inch ones, or the 1.5-inch ones. Also, I am keeping them all together. So I'm going to make 2.5-inch squares out of the 1-inch ones. Same with the 1.5s. Instead of, you know, combining the both. Do I have an equal amount here? Do I have an equal amount? Nope, I do not. I will just take those two out.
Need more to sew yet?
Almost. I'm going to press these, though, after I sew this last one.
I'm getting there.
All right.
I'm getting there, but not yet.
So I'm going to press these seams open now and then combine them into 4 patches, which I'm probably only going to have a total of 3 here anyway, which is fine. So see, now I have 1.5-inch squares. And 4 of them will give me 2.5-inch square.
Well, there you go.
There's 3. Okay, so there's 1 4-patch. Two. If I have to sew 2 more to get a full piece, I will. 3.
Fingers to pull these apart. I'd have been all done by now.
4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I literally just need to sew. I'm gonna cut right here from those.
Have you made an Irish chain quilt?
I have made Irish chain. I've made Irish chain more than once. I even have made a giant Irish chain quilt before. As in, the pieces were giant. I just need to sew these 2 together and pair them with these 2. All right. I knew I was going to be able to do that, and I only needed to cut a couple little tiny pieces. That. And then I will have plenty. Look at that. Those 4 go together, those 4 go together. And then these 4. So I have made 4 2.5-inch blocks from these.
This pile's done, the little ones, and I'm almost done with the bigger ones here. Sorry.
Oh, you're perfectly fine.
Well, no, my fat fingers, if I could open these, they're super quick to iron, but I couldn't get them apart. Or else I'd be done. Almost there. Almost. Have you ever made a quilt out of 1.5-inch square, queen size?
Have I ever made a queen size quilt out of 1.5-inch squares? No. My mini quilts are small. Every time I make mini quilts, I just make small quilts. I don't make big quilts. Everyone says you have the patience of a saint when I'm doing just these little projects with these, but honestly, something that big, I wouldn't have the patience to do. I'm going to go ahead and press that seam one way and this seam the other, and then sew them together. That way I have something at least that nests here. Or else it doesn't match whatsoever. But at least I have made myself a little 2.5-inch square out of a lot of 1-inch squares. But I will press the final seam open because let that sit for a second while I sew 2 more. Round, put this up the top. Right. Left.
You went from little squares to long, skinny rectangles?
Yeah, I did a couple rectangles.
That's cool.
Might as well mix them in.
Darn right, I think it's cool.
All right, so I have one, put this together. This little table runner, whatever I get out of this, is going to make no sense at all, but guess what? It'll be cute.
Whatever you make, it'll be pretty. I do agree.
Around. I don't have a what is it called? A wood heat thing. I know that a lot of you guys use. I don't, but I don't even own one, so I just let the iron sit on it. All right. Another one down.
Another one down, and another one down, and another one bites the dust. You knew that was coming.
Yes, I did. I mean, you sing it almost every single time when I say it.
Yep. Probably the iron was moving by itself. You had the ghost.
Oh, no, it's going to because the cord. So if I put it like this, it'll move. It'll turn on its own because the cord is crooked.
Okay, what else?
The cord should have came out of somewhere else. Like,
my iron and these?
no, I haven't sewn those.
Well, no, I don't want
Oh, just those 2 pieces.
Oh, okay. You mean I actually caught up?
Yep, you actually caught up.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right. That gives me 4 2.5-inch blocks made from 1-inch squares. Yeah, see, if I let go, it does that because the cord. All right, so I'm gonna set those aside.
I'm gonna show them to me.
Oh, he's gonna hold them up. The reds touch reds. I really didn't care. All right, so I'm
Oh,
going
it's
to
too cool.
sew the 1.5 into 2.5-inch squares. Put this on
See
the
if the
other way
camera
now.
adjusted itself normal. Okay, it seems to have.
That one's turned. Don't want the flipped seam. Stay nice, you dumb seam. Now I'm gonna start sewing these ones together, the little 1.5s, and I'm just going to nest the seams because they're already pressed one way or whatever. Scott pressed them. All right, there's that. So I got 4 of those blocks. Woohoo! Now I just need to mix and match all this up. And these will give me 2.5-inch squares, which we will in turn do whatever with. All right, let's put this one with this one. This one with this one. Take a drink of water. I'm liking that we were able to use 2 irons right now.
Heck yeah. Great way to heat this room up if it
Oh,
ever gets
yeah.
cold.
Yeah, it's a wintertime thing, man.
It won't get cold in here for another month, but
Yeah, this room is going to be overly hot. It's already hot enough. So right now I'm just sewing the 1.5-inchers together. Mix and matching them. All right, those 2 are the same, but those 2 are not the same. Those can go together. These 2 can go together. I don't want 2 the same. Those are all the same. Let's match something else with them. All right, so I even have an oddball amount of these. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Alrighty. These are ready to be pressed. And then I'm going to take, how many 2.5 by 4.5s do I have? I have 2, We're gonna mix and match now. So I'm gonna sew some of these 1.5 by 2.5 combos together with something, making a 2.5 by 4.5 inch square. I mean 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. And then I'm gonna mix. I know I'm trying not to burn myself, my friends. Then I'm gonna mix the 2.5 4.5s with the 2.5 by 2.5. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of combos here. Let's do these together, and I'm also going to put 2.5 inch squares together and 1.5 inch with these. So these could also go with 2.5 inch square and like the 1.5 inch combo, you know. So I can put those together because I sewed all the 2.5s together, so I can't kind of blend them. All right, so we'll put that on there.
You do it your way.
These are all going to get mixed with something because I think it will look awesome. And just create a bunch of 4.5 inch squares. As soon as he's done pressing those, I'll have more 2.5 inch squares to work with.
You want a couple?
Yes, please, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw them right next to your arm.
Nope. All right, so I'm going to sew these 1.5s real quick to this little 1 inch thing. Where's my one? Oh, there they are, right there. 1 inch thing.
Little iron.
Huh?
What's the name of that
The
little
little iron is a sunbeam, right? Yeah, sunbeam. And just because I know you're going to ask when you Google it or look at Walmart online, it's a sun. Oh, shoot, I can't even read that. Even with my glasses, it's going to be hard to read that one.
Why'd I do it?
It is model number. Ready for this? If you need to know, 326100001. Sunbeam model. So if you have to rewatch for that, because when I first looked it up, Sunbeam mini irons, this doesn't come up. You actually have to put the model number in. And I had one single 2.5 inch square. I'm going to add that to the to this. That way they're not all exactly the same. All right, I'm going to press those.
You still use your red snappers.
Yeah, my red snappers are a staple to the long arming getting work done. Have to have it on my long arm. All right, so this will get mixed with one of these. Then this one will get mixed with one of these. Wait, let's do one that's got the seam pressed this way. Look at that. Okay, and then this one. We're doing everything we can to make 4.5 inch squares. However way you make them. This with this. Ooh, that looks pretty. All right, and then we'll mix some more 2.5s together. I'm gonna start sewing some of these already created ones. Make sure those seams are nested. Stay away, they're all pressed. Perfect. this sewn up real quick. So far, that's all the combos. I'm gonna just pass those over to Mr. Scott, and then I'm gonna sew these 1.5ers together into sets of 2. Just trying to nest these seams up. He's showing you the
That is so cool.
all right, so some of these I'm gonna sew to these guys, like that. And then some of these will go to the 2.5-inch squares. Let's choose one that those colors aren't even on. There we go. Those 2. Make sure that that seam nests. And then, oh, so one to this. Again, I'm just creating the whole entire time. I'm just making 4.5-inch squares. No matter how I complete it. And this one, actually, I'm going to put 2 of these together. There we go. Oh, that's a solid piece. Okay. All right. Let's sew some more of these combinations. I'm just going to grab and sew at this point. some 4 patches just out of the 2.5 inches.
I'm gonna put any of those in the water.
I'm going to start laying it all out, and then they'll have a general idea. We might go over a few minutes
Yeah,
just so that I can get all this sewn up.
So I'm saying, do you want me to put any of those in the wall? You can take
No,
these down.
I'll get it on the wall in a second. I'm just going to keep passing these to you to iron. So here's more. I'm just going to keep going to you to press. That way I get it all finished quickly.
No, you don't have to rush. You can do this another week.
Nope. The rest I will sew off camera. We will lay it out though.
Product though when it's done, right?
Yeah, you guys will see the finished product when it's complete.
It looks pretty awesome so far.
Yep, so far it's looking pretty cool just by mixing all this stuff up. I don't know how many blocks in total there are at this moment either. Plus all the 4.5 inch squares, which are going to alternate with all this, you know.
It'll be pretty big, I think.
Yeah, it'll be good size. Probably bigger than a table runner, honestly. I'll probably get a full baby quilt out of all this.
A cool little baby Christmas quilt.
Yep, a baby Christmas quilt. Since the fabric is literally called Christmas Morning. I actually didn't sew any of these together to create that either. Well, there's one. I'm going to just pass you a whole nother stack over there.
Yeah, I'm ready.
If I give you a few at a time, you can actually keep up with me.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Huh? Oh, yes, I know. Did I put that on right sides? Yeah, I did. Okay. Now the last of this is just going to be turned into 4 patches. I'm going to do this whole thing where I just stack a bunch in front of me again.
The bigger the pieces they are, the quicker I am too, because my fat fingers can actually open them, so I can go quicker.
Yeah, it's kind of warm in here. All right, getting almost done. And go figure, there is one left. Oh, I don't know because I didn't throw them on the ground. I literally have one last combo I can make.
Little dusty.
I could cut these real quick into 4.5 inches. mix it with this 1.5 inch. This is 4.5 right here. Let's see right now. Nope, nowhere close. But this two are 4.5 right there. So these two together to get a 1.5. By 4.5. I'm going to press this one seam open only because, again, it's 1 inch. If I get my fingers to split it or not, just thank you. All right, now there's a 1.5 by 4.5. I'm going to hook it together with this one and then hook it together with this one. And bam, there's 4.5. Yep, making stuff up as I go so that I'm not wasting anything. And I literally have just a couple pieces left.
Yeah, we don't waste around here.
Yep, no waste. This is a no waste zone. Which I'm sure by now you can all tell. All right, so now I have a whole bunch of 4.5 inch squares made in all different ways. Let's toss these down and throw some of these puppies up on the wall and see what we got going on. And this is all just because I grabbed a bag of scraps, added 2 fabrics to it that matched. All right, so I don't know which is going to have more. There's still more 4 patches being, put together at this moment.
I'm almost done.
So I'm just going to go 1, 2.
Got 4 left.
3. Some of these you're not going to see because the color is not very prominent.
Now I only have 4 left.
Oh, I don't want that. I'm alternating. Let's blend all these together.
If you're done, you can unplug that iron if you want me to.
I got it.
I'm going to plug this one because it's getting pretty warm in here. Matt Toasty.
All right, mixed up. Here we go. Put that there. Nope, I don't want 2 of those next to each other. I'm a dum-dum. I don't want 2 of those next to each other. Let's put this
Take your
here.
time. Take your time.
Put that
Looking good.
there.
You got this.
But not that there. Let's find one of these. Let's start grabbing these guys. Whether it's this direction or that direction. There's quite a bit of these grays, so I can put a gray here. Another 4 patch here, going in that direction. And then we'll do, I don't know how far it's going to go, so we're going to see. Let's put that there. A red one here. My one messy little 1.5er. There. I might not be able to have enough of the 4.5 inch squares, which means I could cut more from the yardage that I have. Instead, alternating. I don't have as many reds. I do have a grays though. Put that there. I'm throwing things on the floor now.
Take your time. Take your time.
No, we don't want that one there. This one can go there. And that one can go there. Go there. I gotta kind of like an alternating kind of deal going on here, so I can just guess where things might end up. These would be about here, there, this there, that's going to be there. Put a gray here, one of these there, a red one there. Oops, that would be like that, and then one will go like this. I need darker right there. Something darker. Darker right there, because it's going to have a light one right here. The gray one right here. We already got red, so let's put this one there. Oh, let's put, where's one of my little 1-incher thingies? I don't know. Oh, there's one right there. I put this guy in. Oh, nope, that's the same as that. That's the same as that. I don't want him on the edge, so we're going to put him there. Screw it. This one can go there. It doesn't matter where they go. Just trying to blend it all in. Oh, I have plenty of these grays. Oops, nope, nope. That's fine right there. I need something dark. Right there, yep, that's perfect. Let's put one of these greens right there. 4 patch there. One of those there. Definitely have more 4 patches than have anything else. Put one of those there. Oh, that's like perfect. Where's the other one? One there. Perfect. And there's one more of these. We're going to get it mixed in. Oh, let's put that. No. We need one up here. There we go. That's better. I'll put that there for now. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Talking to myself as I do this, as you guys already figured out. How many is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across, but 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. So let's go 8 across. Oops. Oops, that's the same. That's the same. That's not the same. Oh, and then it would be these. And then oh, still That's not going to go there. I already have two next to each other. That was not supposed to happen. But we're going to mix them in anyway. There's two of these. Three. Yep. 4. Change that out to right here. 1, 2. 3. One with the 1 inches there. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of those left.
Plus you got the border
So,
and everything. So
yeah.
Decent size.
So I'm going to put in this green, and it needs some more green about right here. So that green is going to go there. And I'm going to replace this one for that one, and this one for that one. There we go. What other one do I want to pull? I don't know. Either way, what's left is just little 4 patches and 1 4.5-inch square. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down.
And then what's your border fabrics? Here, these up there.
Yep, hold on. So it'll be 32 by, oops, 40. And then this will be the first border, which I think I won't have any of these on the corners. You know, they'll have to get like this. That way this isn't touching itself. So I'll move these to where they're not touching the corners.
So you need more red in that one corner, yeah.
Well, I'll move some more around, but this is the general idea. So this will be border 1 or border 2. I don't know. Let's open both up and look. 1 and then a light, or a light then a dark. I think the dark will stop it, which will bring out the dark in all of this, you know?
Yeah.
And then the white on the outer side. I think that's what I'm going to probably do. But the rest of it I will sew off camera, and you guys will be able to see. But I'll hold this under the, take a picture and put it under black and white so I can see where the darks need to be spread out more. And then put it all together. But for now, this is what it looks like so far. And then I'll have this and this as the borders. So it won't be 40 by, or 32 by 40. It'll be, you know, like 54 by 60, something like that, because of the borders. I'll do a 2.5 and then probably a 4.5 to finish it off.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll look awesome. Oh, those would stay. Wow. Almost. So there's that. All right, you can put the camera back. But there was the general idea. All right, guys, I went over just by 10 minutes. But that's it. If there's any questions, say them now or forever hold your peace till next week. Because I'm going to get off of here. And I think this is going to look awesome. So that's what I was able to accomplish in today's video. I didn't get it fully sewn together, but, you know, there was a lot going on with the little pieces. So thank you guys all for hanging out, though. I will see you on Thursday for breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yep.
And then again on Sunday, hopefully for a de-stash. So it'll be a Black Sunday instead of Black Friday. Thought that would be funny. Anyways, all right, guys. Toodles. See ya. See ya.